For all the fans listening and wondering why Jay is so erratic, that's what happens when you predict Chelsea to win the league at the start of the season. Yes, bro. I tried to warn you, bro.
Oh, days.
This guy, bruv. You always gonna listen. I stand by what I said in it, and I've already explained why I said it, and there it is, in it.
Look, I just tried to keep it real, man. I thought we had a good squad at the cup start of the season, but we weren't ready to win the league now. I didn't foresee Lampard getting sacked before.
Was Leicester ready? Was Leicester ready to win the league?
You can't keep going back to Leicester.
No, I can. Was Leicester ready to win the league?
You know what?
They were 1,000 to 1 or whatever it was. Did you think they were going to win? 5,000.
Let me tell you this.
No, Leicester weren't ready to win the league, so I don't want to have it. I don't want to hear that.
Yes, you're gonna. Listen because the season before.
Not listening. They were about to get relegated the season before. So you're telling me they were ready to win?
Tell me when you're done. Tell me when you're done.
No, I refuse to have that. They weren't ready to win the league.
Let's keep it real, Ramsey. Ollie has got Tuchel's number in it. That's what it is. Tuchel is scared of Ollie. He done him in Paris twice. I know he got the last crucial win in the group stage of Champions League, but he done him twice in Paris, and Tuchel's scared of him now. He's like, I gotta have 5 defenders and Kante, 5 defenders and Kante to stop us. I don't blame him in it. I don't blame him.
Now listen,
no comment.
Why are you shaking your head? You don't think Tuchel's scared of Social? I mean, he should be.
Yeah, PSG scared of him.
No, he is. He is scared. He's the manager. He burnt him twice. That night in Paris is still.
Yeah, exactly. That night in Paris is haunting them, man. This is Chelsea.
So why has it got 10 defenders on the pitch?
Because that's how he normally plays, isn't it?
Nah.
3 at the back, 5 at the back, whatever. Listen, it's a game we should have won in it, but we didn't. We moved, man.
When you say should have based on what?
As in, like, with the way how the results are this weekend, last weekend, we should have won it. We should have just went for it. We didn't, and it is what it is, isn't it? But at least we got a draw. We didn't lose. That is the main thing. We didn't lose. Yeah, we just have to be Liverpool.
I know you want to move on, Ramsey, but last time we drew Chelsea, we drew 0-0, and what's his name? Callum Hudson, you got the thing on my head. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and Evra were going in on each other in the. I don't remember on the Sky Studios, and Hasselbank's like, "No, it's not a bad point," and Evra's like, "We don't play for a draw. This is Man United." And Hasselbank basically said, "The next games, your next will determine whether it's a good point or not." Now, from then, I think maybe we lost to Arsenal the next game, but then we went on like a 13-game unbeaten run. Obviously, Chelsea's run went the other direction. So I know you say it's a good draw, Javon.
It's not a good draw, man. But
your next games will determine whether it's a good. You can't really judge it right now. I think your next games will determine whether it's a good draw or not.
Yeah, just to that point, actually, I think the draw in the reverse fixture was actually, it ended up being an okay point for us because, again, we were coming off of a draw midweek against Seville, and also United were coming off, I believe, the 5-0 thrashing of Leipzig. So we were playing you guys when you were red hot. So it wasn't a bad time to get a point against you guys. And then I think that started off our 17-game unbeaten streak, where we ended up being top of the table. Lampard was booming, and we know how that all ended. But at the time, it ended up being a pretty decent result. So let's see how we bounce back against Liverpool. Good times, mate. Good times.
Listen, it's been a madness. There's been so many this season. 1 minute it's 21-21. Lampard's winning. Everton, rise of Ancelotti, and here we are now, back to normal Pep.
Listen, for those that are listening on the audio, that is the sound of Jay, who's joined. He's joined the podcast. And Nat, I'm bringing Nat in. Nat, it's good to see. It's good to see you, Nat. It's been a few weeks. Still, it's been a few weeks.
Man came back after Liverpool won. Liverpool ain't won in like 10 weeks.
You think this is a plan? This guy's been missing. And I'm telling that to wake up after you lost to Burnley and Brighton. You've been sleeping. Now all of a sudden you wake up because you beat Sheffield United. Yeah, I see you.
I've been busy, doing uni work and that.
Yeah.
Uni
right.
stop now. Uni finished, yeah? You graduated.
No, I'm just taking a break from the work in it. So yeah, I've made some time in it.
Listen, nah, I'm gonna bring you in on the VAR session. Ford made a point earlier that Man United didn't have VAR on their side as per usual. And to be fair, I for one was shocked that Man United didn't get awarded a penalty as per usual. What did you make of what we got on the screen? Hudson-Odoi's attempt at basketball in the Chelsea area and getting away with it. What was your thoughts on that?
Bro, it should have. I don't know what he was doing. Like I think he forgot that it was actually football. He's in the wrong sport, man. Like that's just shocking. I'm surprised they didn't give it. I can't lie.
Wait,
Yeah,
forward said it. You said it wasn't a penalty, isn't it? You tweeted.
Listen,
No, forward. He tweeted me saying it wasn't a penalty.
I mean, okay, look. First of all, yeah, McTominay gave flipping Mount a bro kick before that even happened, and you guys were awarded a free kick. We don't know how that happened, but all right, cool. Say no more in it, yeah. The ball goes in, it gets cleared.
Hold on, it goes back even further than that, bro. It goes back even further than that.
November.
Listen, we take it back to when Aspilicueta got taken out by Maguire. It goes all the way back
Hey, Ramsey,
to there.
put that picture up. But even to yesterday, if you watch it again, if you isolate this picture, cool. It looks like it's a blatant handball. It looks unorthodox, whatever in it. If you watch it in real time, you will see that Callum Hudson-Odoi is bracing for impact to Greenwood, and it just brushes his fingertips. All right, literally his fingertips. If he cuts his nails, it wouldn't even make contact with the ball. Now, okay, maybe with how VARs run these days, maybe you can squint your eyes and say, you know what, that could be given as a penalty. But guys, we've all kicked the ball. Come on, if we saw a penalty given for that, and we kick the ball, like, come on, bro. That goes against the actual spirit of the game. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, the thing is, this is what I want to say on it, right? Like, I do think in today's day and age, and I think we have to now use that as the term because today's day and age isn't the same as it was before. And so, like, I mean, we're in the pandemic. I ain't kicked ball in a year. The rules have changed since I last played ball. But the reality is, I think right now it's a penalty. But for me, do you know what? In a weird way, I was kind of happy that it wasn't given as a penalty, not because of any rivalry or anything, but more of the case of it was a standard accidental touch of the hand. Now, I again, I understand that, you know, in today's age, if your hand's out of the silhouette, as they say, you know, it's a penalty. But because it's accidental, and it was and even Greenwood wasn't mad at it at the time it wasn't like he stopped a shot then in the net or something like that.
Eyes were closed. He didn't even see it.
basically, Ramsey's point is he didn't gain an unfair advantage by touching it with his hand. That's the main point.
It's not even that. It's just the fact that it's a genuine accident. It was a genuine accident, and I think we've gone away from the fact that accidental handballs are not handballs anymore because that's not in the rules. The funny thing I do find is that the funny thing I do find is that the media, the pundits in the media say that we don't know what the rule is because they keep changing. But at the start of the season, they were the one asking for the rules to change because it was so bad. So they want the rules to change, and then they get annoyed that the rules keep changing.
I agree. Like, all things being equal, I'm content that this wasn't given because it's one of those. It was so soft that you wouldn't want to see that given. But we're 26 games into the season. That would have been given 25 weeks running up until Sunday. Like, I don't understand. Like, I saw it like that's going to be given, not because I believe it's handball, but because it has been handball all season. Now, all of a sudden, it's not handball. That's my issue.
If Liverpool, they would have given it.
Say that again?
Well, I just want to ask Neeks a question. I mean, why wasn't it given? Is it because there's a campaign against Man United? Is it because of Frank Lampard? Is it because of a post on Chelsea's website? I mean, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was saying. I mean, tell me, why is it?
Solskjaer is telling the absolute truth. It's all of that actually combined. I don't know. I'm trying to remember exactly what Lampard said. No, he definitely did say something. But it's literally since Klopp came out with the garbage that he came out with, we have got some horrible VAR calls, even in resulting in the PGMOL, writing to Man United to say, yeah, we got that wrong twice in the space of a minute in the Sheffield United game, where David De Gea was clattered in one end and Maguire was given a foul against in the other, both resulting in goal and a goal disallowed. So including that, and since then, we've just been getting bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. Call it coincidence. You can, but I don't believe in coincidences. Listen, Fergie was the master. Fergie used to influence referees, not necessarily always in the dugout or whatever on the touchline, but things he would say before, things he would say, I hope we get a strong referee, because he knows he's going to be kicking Arsene Wenger's side all over the pitch. That's all it means. And so I know that it's possible to influence referees. I believe the referees have been influenced by the comments of Klopp, and I'm sure Lampard did say something as well. I can't remember, because I think that's what Solskjaer was referring to. I think they have been influenced, but I praise Klopp in it. Well done, Klopp. If we were in a title race, you got one up on us, but you're not. We're not either. So whatever in it. I don't know how it's benefited you. But
the one thing I want to say on that though, and which is what we've all asked for, is that the referee went over to the screen. It wasn't a decision made by VAR. He got to see it firsthand. Again, firsthand, no pun intended. And he got to make a decision based off his own eyes. He saw it back, I think, at least 2-3 times. Yeah, there may have been some Chelsea players in and around his behind him, but we asked for at least. At least if it's going to be the referee's call, make it be his call, and we'll deal with it there, and we're happy with that. But he made the call. And everyone's still not happy with it. You say, well, it's wrong. He made the wrong choice. But if we're saying that it's an opinion, it's an opinionated decision. It was not I don't know if it was one of them you could call stone wall. He has to give it. He's made an opinionated decision. The only issue now is that if he did say to Harry Maguire, listen, tomorrow morning,
it's because people like Jay and Forward are going to be down the referee's throat if he gave it. That's why he's like, oh, I don't want no backlash. He don't want to have hope post-match analysis. Like, I don't want no backlash, so I'm not going to give it. Because you tell me, if he didn't say that to Harry Maguire or words to that effect, why hasn't Luke Shaw been fined? Because he basically just came out and lied. But he hasn't been fined, so that means he didn't lie.
You're muted.
All in all, it's lovely to see this. It's lovely to see this because when we should have had that penalty, everyone's like, well, here it is now, innit? So you'll just keep arguing amongst yourself. The game is done. Yeah, that's exactly what you guys were saying to us now. Here it is. The game is done. We're just here arguing. Oh, it's not a penalty. It wasn't given, so it's not a penalty.
That's fine. I want to know why. I want to know what, as Ty would say. I'm saying like
the same reason why Maguire got away with with taking out Aspilicueta. That is why. That is why. That is clearly why.
He said to Maguire, he's scared about the backlash that you and Ford would give him.
Why did he say that? He said that because last time Maguire choke slam, rugby tackled, pin missile Aspilicueta down to the floor, and nothing happened in it. So that is your answer. They said, I remember that decision. So anything now, we'll have to even it out. That's it.
But it happened, didn't it? We moved. And I still feel like we're talking. Like it's a talking point. I get it, but like it was for me. It was the way Ollie mentioned it was so funny because he was like,
he was so mad.
He was like, yeah, we should have had 2 extra points because of that decision. We should have had 2 extra points.
To be honest, Chelsea weren't ever going to score. I mean, they're the most boring team I've seen since LVG under Tuchel. Bring back Lampard for God's sake.
But it was so
but hey, let's not pretend like De Gea didn't have to pull off an absolutely world-class saver, right? Let's not
rude. That didn't happen. Okay? That is bread and butter.
Let's not pretend that Mason Mount didn't go on a Messi-esque run, going past all your team, and then just didn't find the finish at the end. But look, we had our chances. And to be honest, let's just be real. Ollie's rattled, innit? He's rattled. He engineered that entire conversation post-match about the penalty rather than talking about the fact that yet again, he stuck out another big 6 game. How many nil-nils is this in a row? 6 nil-nils in a row in big games? Bro, it's a shambles.
Listen,
both your managers played 5 at the back. Both of them. No wonder we drew. No, we drew 0-0.
Listen, you know what you walk. Listen, it's not about us. It's about all the other big. What about all the other big teams you've played and drew 0-0 too?
Exactly. We're available. You guys are a constant.
We beat Everton. We beat West Ham. We drew Leicester 2.
Fuck off, man. Fuck off, man.
Are you saying Arsenal are big team now? What are you telling me? Arsenal and Spurs. 9
So you're saying you don't do? So you're saying that there's no issue at Man United with playing against the big six or top six or whatever?
No, I just told you there's no issue playing against the top 6.
Okay, all right. So it's okay to draw in all those games that people are talking about.
All the games that we have drawn, any game that we've drawn or lost, you have to analyze. And I believe the reason why we drew against 10th place Arsenal and we drew against you're not even in the 10th.
But it's so good, you should be winning.
No, I never said we're that good. But the reason why we did it is because we play Fred and McTominay. And if we want to win those games, we need to play. Well, if we had a bit,
so then that's your Manchester United problem, not us. So what if we play 5 at the back? That's not us.
The point is, even with the 5 at the back, the point when you have the 5 at the back, we still created an opportunity to score from 12 yards, which the referee robbed from us.
Like Aspilicueta, but okay.
You know what, Javan, let's be fair to them. They didn't have any Pogba, there was no Bruno Fernandes, and there was no VAR for them. So you know what, a point away from home, it's not a bad result for them. So you know what, fair enough, fair play.
Where was the edge? I'm trying to work out. You lot got the guy early as well, just after January last year. He said, "Yeah, let's steal our march on our rivals." Robbie was right. Robbie Lyle. Robbie was right. William.
You know what? This is bullshit. Come on, move this thing on, bro. Move this thing on, bro. Listen, move this thing on, man.
Big up William.
Sorry, when did the season start for William? Yesterday? What?
It starts at crunch time. Against the top 6 team. It's against the top 6 team. He performs. Listen, we're moving. Listen, we'll move slightly on because we're going to stay with Chelsea and talking about Thomas Tuchel and the way he is playing, because I did mention when he first came to Chelsea that I think really he is like the way he's coming with a sort of plan. I feel like obviously not having long from leaving PSG to come into Chelsea, I feel like there's probably talks beforehand. He kind of knew this was going to happen, and then he made a quick decision. He said what he says is sort of a gut decision to go with 5 at the back against the Wolves, or 3 at the back, 3-4-3, whichever, and then go from there. And I feel like from the Wolves game till now, we've had a decent little period to see where he kind of wants to take Chelsea. Made some big calls, Hudson-Odoi related as well. Yesterday, he said he didn't pick Tammy because of selection choice. And Gary Neville said he weren't there because he's probably injured. But Tuchel said, nah, he weren't injured. I chose for Tammy not to play, to not be in the squad. Which was a big decision, considering that I think it's probably the case of that he kind of knew he was going to start Giroud and not Timo Werner, so maybe he would have been the striker. But considering last week he said he never wanted to play Timo up front by himself, he was always going to play with another striker. It was interesting that he didn't bring him in. But anyway, that's his choice. Obviously, what he's free to do. Forward, what have you made about Tuchel so far, and where do you think he can take Chelsea? Not just necessarily this season, but going into next year. He's only got an 18-month contract, so next season maybe he already has. But yeah, where do you think he'll take Chelsea?
Again, Tuchel's just a very interesting character. Again, from people who follow his career at Dortmund, at PSG, he's very friendly on the outside. He can give these very eccentric press conferences, but he's known to butt heads with players and also boards and clubs in general. So again, that kind of explains in itself why he's been given such a short contract relative to his peers. So it'll be interesting. We're kind of even starting to see it with this relationship with Tammy Abraham, because you put it nicely. Bro, I just don't think he rates Tammy. Like, I'm gonna be real. I don't think he rates Tammy at all. I mean, he even went out of his way. Oh, I rate Tammy highly. I think he should be starting a lot more games for us than it's been the case. And again, I can see Tuchel's issues with Tammy to a degree, but I do think the treatment of him has been a little bit unfair. In fact, wildly unfair. Because if you even go to the Southampton game where he subbed Hudson-Odoi on and off, okay, I can understand you kind of digging him out a little bit in the media, but he went out of his way to also dig out Tammy Abraham. Like the interviewer said that, okay, so he took off Tammy Abraham because he was injured. So I know you brought Hudson-Odoi, so he basically made that point. And then he went on to say, no, to correct you, I didn't take off Tammy because he was injured. I took him off because he didn't show his quality. Bro, that's deep. Like, that's cold. So, yeah, he's going to do that. And again, he's still in his honeymoon period. So a lot of fans will kind of look past those comments and give him the free will. And again, he has made a bit of an instant impact. I'll give him credit, certainly.
I'm glad, man. Someone had to call it out, man. So the Clares are crap.
No, I mean, bro, I'm gonna get. Bro, I'm gonna get. Bro, I'm gonna get. That's a precursor to the main point. That's the precursor to the main point here because wait, let me land. Emotional. You know what I mean? Jay represents a lot of Chelsea fans who are pissed off with this season because a lot of players have just not been good enough. And ultimately, for me, I think Tuchel done what Lampard should have done months ago, which was to go to a back three and make us a lot more solid. But again, the main issue is going to be able to get us to score more goals because, like he's been saying, in the final 20 meters, we've just not been incisive enough. And yes, he does need to improve that. And I think he'll get transfer windows to improve the actual personnel because, again, to Jay's point, the personnel has been absolutely abysmal this season in terms of the attacking talent. Again, I'm going to give a little bit of credit to United in the sense that when they don't play well, which we see many times due to either Ollie's poor tactics or just players not being on it, we will see Bruno or Rashford or Pogba step up with big moments in games and win them games. Okay, maybe the smaller games, clearly not the big games, but we've seen them win many games this season just due to their individual ability. With Chelsea, again, we spent so much money on these attacking players. Werner, he's not come to the party. Ziyech started off well, got injured, and he's not been the same since. Havertz, he's a little bit younger, yes, but again, 85 million. I mean, we kind of still need to see a little bit more than what we've seen. Even the previous window, Pulisic. I mean, I was seeing a lot of talk about the post-lockdown Pulisic, and we've not seen any of him this season. So, again, Tuchel's got a big job on his hands, but it's not
Havertz. That Pulisic's.
No, I'm saying it's not. The 85 million shouldn't put extra pressure on Havertz. You only spent 85 million on him because them man there didn't
we spent 72 million pounds on Pepe. Oh, Pepe, waste of money.
Listen. No, Ramon, you know me, and I've always been saying people need to move the price tag from a player. Half of these players that go to a club, i.e. Maguire for 80 million and all of those types, they're only moving there because one, there's Premier League tax and two, clubs don't want to sell, so they put a high value on them. So for me personally, I'm gonna when it comes to players moving for big monies, I'm not gonna put them under more pressure because the club paid 100 and whatnot for them, because it's not their fault that the club had to pay that.
You're right, Jay. I mean, Havertz, don't get me wrong, he's a young player, which is why I'm still going to be patient with him. But again, remove the price tag aside, he still did bag a lot of goals for Bayer Leverkusen in the league and in Europe. So again, he's still a young player. I'm not going to count him out, but we can still expect more from him. But certainly the pressure is more on the likes of Werner and Ziyech.
And like I said, if someone pays 10 mil, I expect the same from 10 mil, from 100 mil. Just you do your job in it, or else you're gonna get cussed.
Listen, the streets are saying it's just LVG football with on steroids, isn't it? You know, do a bit of pressing, but it's all boring, isn't it? It's all like, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't study Tuchel elsewhere. I'd watched him, but I didn't study him properly. So, you know, I just took a lot of people's words about him being this great coach. And you can see that he has implemented his, I guess, the way he wants them to play immediately. You can give them that. But I said it before the Southampton game. No, it was just after the Southampton game. I said, let me just wait until they actually get a bad result. I don't want to speak too soon. But I was looking at him like I wasn't overly impressed. I think a lot of Chelsea fans were in a post-Lampard morning where anything other than Lampard was great. And I'm looking at it, I guess, as a neutral, like, this isn't great. You can see what he's trying to do, but it ain't great. It's not really clicking. It's not really working there. You're just getting over the line. I'm not saying you were lucky, you deserve to win those games, but it was like 2-0 or 2-1. and then you had a 1-1 against Southampton. The first game was a 0-0. I'm not blaming him for anything like that, but I just haven't seen anything. If I was a Chelsea fan, to get excited about. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but just saying, as a Chelsea fan, I haven't seen anything to get excited about. And I think, if he doesn't get top 4,
listen,
that's massive. I know you can't blame him because he came midway in the season, but you're in a position where you can get top 4. It's like top 4 is well within your grasp. If he doesn't get top 4 with all the games that still remain in, it's still a bit of it. Not a damning indictment, but it's an indictment. It's an indictment.
Listen, I'm okay in it. If we win 1-0 for the rest of the season, that's fine by me. Because right now it's just clear he's gonna just draw it out, be safe, bore it out, and be defensively solid, nick a 1-0, let's go. I'll take that to the end of the season because it's been up and down roller coaster. And I'm just sick and tired of the deadwood in the team, the players that have to carry all the stick. And there's just so many things that just annoys me, and I just need the season to be over with because I'm sick and tired.
Well, I'm just not sure what you'll have to do because you spent a lot of money. Forget the money. You bought a lot of players in the summer. I feel like it was 8. I could be wrong, but I feel like you bought like somewhere between 6 and 8 players. And how many of them have been success? Mendy's been a relative success, I guess. Thiago Silva's been good.
The main issue right now here,
that's
I would say, is Timo not finding his feet and Kai Havertz. But Kai Havertz, I hope will come good. I can't identify where exactly things are wrong right now in the squad. In terms of, there's more to it because the players there have the potential and ability. So I just don't know where the problem is. Is it the midfield? I'm not a big fan of this J5 or J9, whatever the heck they call Jorginho.
Wait, was it?
I'm not, it makes me sick when I see it on the timeline. And just like, why are you hyping this up? This is not good. And I might get some stick for this. I'm not a big overall fan of how Kante has been for the past 2 seasons. I'm not a big fan.
You're Kante's biggest fan here.
I know.
Jay, don't do it. Jay, don't do it. Please, don't do it.
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm just saying. I think maybe we need to look at our midfield because right now, as it stands, I don't know if they're all so bad that Kovacic looks so good. I don't know. For me personally, I don't know. And there's an issue if Mount, and this is another thing. Mount clearly is the player that's performing, so is the best of a bad bunch, which makes it even worse. And it tells you a lot about the team if Mason Mount is our best player when there are other players that are supposed to be better than him, and he's still the best. And there's so much that's going on, and it's just crazy how some players don't get digged, but the players that manage to drag through the team and get digged. I'm not a Mount supporter. I'm not gonna be like, oh, Mount is the best. He's the truth. I'm far from it. I just want people to understand that Mount ain't the only problem in this team. There's plenty of other problems, and stop saying this just Mason Mount, because I'm telling you from now, there's many more problems there.
The thing I find is that I'm actually in the opposite camp to Neeks, to be honest. I'm sitting in the camp of and the reason I'm probably in that camp is probably because
you've been watching Arteta all season.
Nah, it's not that. It's not that. It's not that because it's more the fact that Lampard was I found Lampard very erratic with his decision, with his not decisions, but with his squad. You never know what Lampard's side is going to turn up. You never know what result they're going to get. There was no way that we should have beaten Chelsea 3-1 at the Emirates with the form we were in. No way. Arteta's decision aside, that should never have happened with the way Chelsea were as well. And I think it was that sometime-ish performances that I think is why Roman said, "Nah, I can't have it." Because Javerne had every right to start the season to say Chelsea are going to win the league with the players.
Not win the league. No.
Look, man for man, in terms of the players that they have, not talking about what we've seen and then work as a team. But man for man, they've got one of the best squads in the league.
But not better than Man City. And you have to consider the manager. You have to consider the manager.
Yeah, 100%,
Oh my
100%,
goodness, man said no better than Man City.
No, but
Like to
I'm
say
saying-
Leicester didn't win the league when their team was no. It can happen, man. It can happen.
There was no
But what
It doesn't matter.
But what I
The
would
team
say,
was better.
Tuchel's come in and he's made Chelsea defensively better, and I think he's starting a basis to work on. I always find it interesting when managers come in, what they go to.
Pep
Do
was
they
there.
go to try and go all out attack and try to attack the league, or do they start from the back and work forward? And I feel like Tuchel's trying to do that. Going free at the back is a safe option. It's what Arteta reverted to because he found that he started carrying on with Emery's formation, and we just kept losing. Then he said, you know what, we need to go free at the back because we keep losing games. And Tuchel went straight away and said, like, I'm gonna go safe. I'm gonna go with Rudiger, and I'm like, that's gonna be my basis to work through, and I'm gonna just go like how I can keep Chelsea solid at the back because we're conceding too many goals. All of a sudden, they're only winning 2-1, only winning 1-0, but they're dominating the possession. They just haven't got the strike force up front. Now, the problem with going 3-4-3 is that you lose an attacker because instead of going 4-2-3-1, where you got 4 man going forward, you're now attacking with 3. And if one of them's a big man like Giroud or Abraham, you're unlikely to score as many goals because they're maybe not the sort of 20 goal a season kind of guys. So you end up having to rely on the Mason Mounts and the Werners to get you going through. And obviously, in some games it has worked. They've got the 2-1s or the 1-0s or whatever. And some games they lack it. And it's a risk doing that. But you have to build. You have to start from somewhere and build towards it. So I feel like I actually like what I see with Tuchel. It's about, as you said, the result. It's a results business. For me, he has to get top 4. Where he's got them into now. Listen, remember Chelsea was sliding down with Lampard. They're now in a position.
No, I'm not saying they should attack Lampard. You know, I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying I think some Chelsea fans are getting overly gassed with Tuchel because he's not Lampard. I think is more the fact that what he's actually done.
But also
for me personally, I feel like
the results are improving, and they are only now 1 point off to top 4. When Lampard was there, it was, as I said, it's so erratic. They were top of the league, and then they went all the way down to 8th, 9th. Whereas Tuchel's kind of got them going in a certain direction. Now you can argue some of the games weren't that were easier to win, but Lampard wasn't always getting the results in the easier games as well. Whereas Tuchel's saying, right, let's get the results in those sort of games. The performance against Spurs I thought was good as well, and you just see that they're starting to move in a certain direction. As you said, now they've got the draw against Man United. What can they get now against Liverpool and Everton? Because Everton are on their tails. I think Everton are just about to beat Southampton tonight, so they're on their tails now. And you said Liverpool are in and around that same mark. So it's now you've now got Everton, Liverpool, and then obviously West Ham still in the way, and Leicester have got a gap, but they got injury problems. So there's a chance now for Tuchel to maybe get third place in the league. But it's about now how can he get that team going forward to score more goals? And I think towards the end of the season, once some of the bigger games out of the way, you got to start to be a bit more adventurous. You got to start to maybe go to a 4 at the back and maybe bring another man.
I think he's going to be solid. I think he's going to stay solid. I feel from what I've seen, he's going to stay solid. Season done. Some good signings come in, and then it's going to be a whole different attacking.
More signings
next season. When I say more signings, I feel like 1 or 2 will change because Abraham got to go. Giroud, I think Tammy, for God's sake, I can't. I feel like our up front is just so bad. Like, we don't have a striker. We don't.
Well, the talk is that Roman likes Haaland, likes him a lot. So
listen, if he goes out and spends 200 million on Haaland, so be in it.
It's going to be more 100 because he's got a release clause next summer, which is probably about 60.
Yeah.
So whatever it is. We go out and get him, and then we'll see where we're at from there. Because I don't know anymore, man. I think that's probably the missing key. Maybe we have to stick with this J957. I don't know what they want to call him. I don't know.
Wait, I want to just jump in just to answer a question that Jay asked earlier, which is what's the main issue for Chelsea right now? And I think people have it a little bit confused because some people are saying that, if we buy Haaland, that will fix all of our issues. But again, despite all the possession and the territory we have in these games, we're not creating clear-cut opportunities. So bringing in Haaland doesn't necessarily change that. I think for me, again, the main issue is we haven't who's our main creative player right now? Right now, it is Mason Mount, and I mean, I love Mason Mount. I think he's been quality this season, but he's not naturally a creative player. And again, there's so much too much burden on him to be that guy who's creating the most chances for us, having the end product in the final third. But again, he's only 22 years old, and that's not really his natural game. Again, it falls on the likes of Ziyech, who's not obviously been that great since he's come back from injury. And again, for me, the main person is Werner. Again, I always make the comparisons to Man United because, again, we finished level on points last season. We're in a similar position. We had inexperienced managers, had similar outlay in terms of signings. And, again, they were a pretty good team. And then they brought in Bruno, and he took them essentially to the next level in terms of just being a decisive match winner. And Werner, not being the same kind of player, but he was meant to seem to have the same kind of impact on our team. And, look, let's keep it real. He's been dreadful, bro. I mean, he's been chasing his first touch all season. Like, it's embarrassing, bro. So again, if you look at his impact on the team, it's not been enough. And well, we've been pretty decent defensively at the start of the season with Suma and Silva as our back two. Now in a back three with Christensen, Aspilicueta, and Rudiger, we've been pretty solid, and we've been controlling games. Like, we're just not doing enough to actually win these games. I mean, against Tottenham, we only scored because of a penalty. Against Atletico, it was a wonder goal from Giroud. But these are all tight games that we're not winning. I mean, right now, Southampton are about to lose their seventh game in eight. And who was the one team that didn't beat them in these 8 games? It's Chelsea.
Yeah,
we only scored in that game because of a penalty, because of Mason Mount. So again, I think it's just a lack of creativity in the final third in terms of creating chances. Yes, to Neeks' point about our fans are getting a bit too excited with Tuchel's arrival and what's happened. I would agree it's not sexy right now. It's people are getting a little bit carried away, but I will say he's brought a structure. He's brought consistency in terms of how we play, in terms of how we control most games. But it's just about that end part. It's about finding the real combinations to consistently create clear-cut opportunities and then be clinical enough and decisive enough and have the composure to put them away. Because, again, even yesterday afternoon, Chua makes a great overlap, cuts it back to Ziyech. And, I mean, maybe a fully confident Ziyech, he's playing week in, week out, has the composure to slot it bottom corner. But he hits it hard, but gives De Gea a chance to save that. And, again, those are the decisive moments that we need to get right more often than not if we're going to be able to finish top 4. Because right now I'm watching the TV, Everton are about to win. They're a problem right now. West Ham, they're a problem right now. We know Liverpool are going to pick up their form sooner or later. Man United are up there. Who did I leave out? Leicester, they came out of Europe, so they're going to have more free weeks to really focus on the league. So, I mean, they're not going to want to bottle top 4 two years in a row. So we've got a real dogfight on our hands. And again, that's why our matches against these big teams, Liverpool and Everton coming up, they're so vitally important to our top 4 hope. So we'll see if Tuchel can get it right. We'll see if these players can step up and actually create these crucial moments and win these games for us.
I'm gonna bring in Nat. Nat, as a Liverpool fan, are you worried about Chelsea potentially finishing giving you a competition? Because now, as your manager has addressed, you are in a top 4 race, and there's no guarantees you're going to finish in it. So, are you now worried about Chelsea being in the way in terms of getting into the top 4? And how big of a game would it be this Thursday when you play them?
Well, it's gonna be tough. Like, obviously our form has been like horrible. Like, as you can see there, as well. Like Chelsea like could pick up and just run away with it, and then there's no way for us to get into the top 4. But I think after this Sheffield game, like the way we played the way we attacked as well was a bit different, you know. Big up my guy Curtis Jones. But yeah, like I think we can do it. I think we can make the top 4. I think West Ham will slip up a bit, and then we'll take that spot. You get me?
Why is there no respect on David Moyes? What's going on?
Trust me, managers writing off West Ham like they're gonna fall off. Big 26 games played and they're still above you. They're still above Liverpool. Respect David. But with Liverpool, even as you said, obviously you're coming off the back of 4 losses in a row in the Premier League, and you got the win against Sheffield United. Do you think you're going to carry on that form? Obviously, you know, Henderson's ruled out for the rest, pretty much the rest of the season as well. Do you think with the injuries that you got on your form, you'll be able to do it? Because you got some tough games coming up, and there's no guarantees that you'll be getting the wins there.
I think we'll definitely give it a good We'll give it a good push. Like the game that we just played showed that we had a little bit of a plan B. Like we played. I like when we develop our play down the left as well. You know, with man like Robertson and Manny and all them guys there. So like I like how that happens. We create a lot of opportunities on that side. Trent isn't doing as many pointless crosses as before as well. So yeah, like I think we'll have a chance of making that top 4 still.
All right. And how do you see the game going on Thursday? Do you think Liverpool can get the winning? Because arguably they need it. They need to not do a Man United and settle for a draw.
No, a draw won't be good. We need to get the win. We need to take all them 3 points, because if we take the 3 points, we go above Chelsea in it. So now we need them 3 points, man. Every 3 points that's available, we must take. Draws is not an option right now. You get me? It's not an option at all.
All right, we'll see. Forward, how do you look at that? How do you look at that league table? And do you is it realistic to say you think Chelsea will finish in the top 4 at the moment?
Yeah, it's very realistic to say that we'll finish in the top 4. Again, we're on pretty decent run of form since Tuchel's come in. And again, it's just all about whether we can turn some of these draws and these tight games into wins. And again, I'm just looking at that Liverpool game coming up, because, I mean, it'll be so typical Chelsea, right? Like, Liverpool have lost, 4 games at home at Anfield, the longest run without a win at Anfield since, the 1920s. And now we're going over there. I mean, you just know that they're going to pick up at least a point. I mean, it'll probably be another 0-0, just knowing how we are when it comes to these kind of games. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that we will finish top 4. But again, you can't write off any of these teams anymore. I mean, West Ham with the resurgence of the resurgence, you can say, of Jesse Lingard going into their team. I think what I will say about certain teams like West Ham and Leicester, let's say Leicester last season, is when they got to January and they were in the top 4 battle, they didn't have that something different to kind of add to the team and give them that real fresh energy that could really boost them towards the end stretch of the season. But I think Lingard was a very shrewd signing for Moyes, and he's going to give them that little extra push.
What the hell is West Ham doing in 4th place?
Bro, they picked up more points than everybody below them, and that's
going on. What is going on?
I don't understand how they got there. I really don't understand how they got there.
They should have been in the Championship.
Just as
gone down and out. Bloody COVID saved them. COVID saved them. They would have been gone.
For all the fans listening and wondering why Jay is so erratic, that's what happens when you predict Chelsea to win the league at the start of the season. Yes. Bro, I tried to warn you, bro.
Oh, days.
This guy, bruv, you always gonna listen. I stand by what I said in it, and I've already explained why I said it, and there it is, in it.
Look, I just tried to keep it real, man. I thought we had a good squad at the cup start of the season, but we weren't ready to win the league now. I didn't foresee Lampard getting sacked before.
Was Leicester ready? Was Leicester ready to win the league?
You can't keep going back to Leicester.
No, I can. Was Leicester ready to win the league?
You know what?
They were 1,000 to 1 or whatever it was. Did you think they were going to win? 5,000.
Let me tell you this.
No. Leicester weren't ready to win the league, so I don't want to have it. I don't want to hear that.
Yes, you're gonna. Listen, because the season before.
Not listening. They were about to get relegated the season before. So you're telling me they were ready to win?
Tell me when you're done. Tell me when you're done.
No, I refuse to have that. They weren't ready to win the league.
Cool. So basically, the team that won the league before Leicester was Chelsea, and obviously we fell off a cliff. We know what happened there. Hazard got fat, Costa and Fabregas down tools. Mourinho got sacked in the winter. Cool. We won the league with 90 points, and obviously we were out of the title race. We removed ourselves from it. The season before this season was Liverpool getting 99 points. The season before Man City, they got 100 points. They are teams that are reaching a points total that we're not going to go and close in one season. We're not going to go and close a 20, 30 point gap in one season, bro. That was not going to happen. So, I mean, okay.
They could drop at any point. They can drop. You never know.
They can drop. Now we've seen Liverpool have dropped. We've seen that. But again, you have to be realistic. You can say maybe we can challenge, maybe we can win the league, but not we're going to win the league. I'm confident. Lampard's bringing it home.
My chest. Hold on, when you saying football's coming home when England win the World Cup? Let's be realistic about England then. I'm sure everyone was saying, it's coming home. It's coming home. Well, we know damn well, right, it ain't coming home. Leicester, were they going to win the title? No, don't even try and change up. It's the same thing, innit? You have to believe. Liverpool's been saying it for 40 odd years and it's finally come true. And now they're going back down. Listen, I'm telling you, you just have to believe it sometimes, innit? And it didn't come true this season. That's fine, innit? It could come true maybe next
no one's
season.
telling you not to have hope. No one's telling you not to believe. Believe belief is a beautiful thing, but bro, now you got to deal with the consequences, and that's why
There is
you're
no
pissed right now.
consequences.
I know the
I'm
consequence
not
is
pissed though. I'm not.
Okay, but you
I'm
sound a
not.
bit pissed. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm not pissed. I'm just wondering. I'm not pissed. I'm just wondering. The heck did West Ham get up? I don't expect West Ham to be up there. What the heck, West Ham?
You know what's funny?
Respect,
Every year
David Moyes.
we do our predictions. Has anyone put Leicester in the top 4?
No, I was going to say that. Neeks was going to say that. No one ever does. We didn't do it last year, and we didn't do it this. We didn't even put them in the top 6. We didn't even have them, let alone top 4. No one had them in the top 6, let alone top 4. But they appeared in it, but the reason why is because of Brendan Bottle job, isn't it? That's the reason, and so. We'll see what happens now. They ain't got Maddison and Barnes for the rest of the season, innit? And
you know what? I can't lie. I had them in the top 4 before last weekend. Like when I saw Barnes get injured, I thought, yeah, that's gonna be it because
before last week, I thought at the beginning of the season. Did you have them in the beginning of the season?
Oh, nobody did. Everybody thought Liverpool were gonna be as bad as they were. I mean, Liverpool have been horrific this season, bro. Like, nobody saw that coming.